Hey, good Wednesday morning, my dear friends. Is it really December here in Southern California? As you look out there at Catalina Island, it's beautiful, flat, calm seas. It's an absolutely gorgeous morning. I say that because it's sunny and it's warm, and we're under the influence of a Santa Ana condition here. The Santa Ana winds have it feeling like summertime here this morning. And man, I'll tell you, there's still some great fishing going on. We've got to check in on the Royal Star. They've got a bite on the really big yellowfin tuna. Tremendous fishing going on there. The Independence and several other boats offloading their great catches this morning in San Diego after tremendous fishing in the 10, 11 day type trips. It's been phenomenal fishing, really, really great. And of course, we're watching the local situations. Looking at Catalina Island out there, we'll cover Cat. We'll talk about the Tanner and Cortez Bank region, and we'll have a weather update because sounds like it's going to get a little breezy. Hey, let's get to it. It's time to set up for the MB Morning Briefing coming at you now. Good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California on a summer-like day. It is absolutely gorgeous. One can only feel blessed to be standing here. I humbly stand before you in this beautiful Eastern Pacific with Catalina Island in the background, and I thank you all for all you've done this year for the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel, over there on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Thank you for your support. We deeply appreciate it. If you get a chance, hit the like button and subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. Also, it's Christmas. What a perfect time to buy some Friedman Adventures merchandise for the loved one in your family. We would really appreciate it. It helps us to produce more content. If you could do that today, it would be fantastic. www.embroiderycreations.net. Make sure you do that. Also, I'll be releasing our 2025 charter schedule. We still have a couple trips left this year up there on the Island Spirit. We'll be on board December 20th and 27th. Fishing for the big old cod up there. That's going to be a lot of fun, but our 2025 schedule is coming at you here in the next couple of days. We're going to release it to the folks who have joined us before and then to the public. If you want it, just send me a text and put charter schedule, please. Oh, you don't have to throw please in there, but just ask me to send it to you and I'll do that. 657-227-6459. Hey, first things first. There's that terrible fire going on in Malibu. Last time I checked, the Franklin fire, it was only about 8% contained, and it had burned up 4,000 acres. 4,000 acres, and it still is really, really a desperate time for many of our brothers and sisters up there around Malibu, California. And of course, this is all about sending our love, our respect, our gratitude to the first responders who are up there putting their lives on the line for all of us. We appreciate it. Wayne Shimaburko. Wayne, he's a great guy, retired LA County firefighter. He reminded me to remind all of you how grateful we should all be for those men and women. All right, let's get into it. Let's go down to the Royal Star, fishing the lower banks. Way down the line there. And they're having some great yellowfin tuna fishing. I talked to Diego Nuno, who is a deckhand aboard the Royal Star. Roy Rose is running this trip, and they're having very good action on the big fish. They've got 7 fish in the 180 to 250 pound class. The catch that is being made on the Royal Star graces the thumbnail of the morning briefing this morning. And of course, you're looking at more photos of this spectacular fishing that's going on. They've also had some wahoo down there. Diego says it looks good, and they're going to continue to hammer away at it. So that is great news. Now, taking a look at that, I want to say 10, 11, 12-day range. I don't even know if there are 12-day trips. 10, 11-day range, and it's been spectacular. Friedman Adventures family member Mitchell. Mitchell, good morning to you. Just got in on the Vagabond. Check him out. and his catch, the Royal Polaris and the Independence, offloading tremendous catches in San Diego today. Man, really remarkable. In fact, on the Royal Polaris, they said they spent a great deal of their trip running away from fish. I mean, it was so wide open, the guys needed a little bit of break down there on deck that they were moving and trying to catch other species. They had tremendous yellowtail fishing, wide open yellowfin, and a heck of a bite on those big bluefin. Same kind of a situation over there on the Independence as they offloaded here this morning. What a great trip for Milton Tackle, an 11-day trip. Again, really good numbers of yellowtail, yellowfin tuna, and those big bluefin tuna. It can't get much better on the long range scene. A reminder that in April 21st through the 26th, we'll be on board the Independence for a 5-day trip that we'd love to see you on. Just give their office a call this morning and you can become part of it. No doubt about it. So great long range fishing going on. Let's talk about some of the local banks areas. Now, I will address that area down there at 270 miles south of the border, because down there is where we find that big bluefin and that yellowfin tuna. Some of it's 300 miles, but there are trips coming up. I know the Polaris Supreme is on a trip right now. I hope to hear from them, because Antonio, I saw him at 22nd Street Landing the other day, is on board that trip, and I'm wishing him the best of luck. I know the Royal Star has a few spots open on a December 26th through 30th trip. So Royal Star, you can give them a call and jump on that one. That has been really great fishing. Now, as we move up here into Southern California, we poke our nose out past Catalina, and then there's another island called San Clemente Island. Out past that are a couple of remote banks. Well, not so remote anymore. In fact, I fished that area commercially over 40 years ago with my brother on a regular basis. We ran out of Redondo on a boat called the Thunderfish. Man, we used to put the wood to the cows and the big bokashi and the reds. We had so many great experiences out there. Out there in that neck of the woods, there's some bluefin tuna that are still wandering around. Not a lot, and they're not huge. Most of it is in that, I want to say, 25 to 40 pound range. There's some pretty good yellowtail fishing, as evidenced by the Pride's most recent trip out of 22nd Street Landing. The 540 Slingers Club's guys, Jeff Yeomans and crew, they had a good pop on the yellows, big bonito, and of course, just great rock fishing. Now, I mentioned up front we're going to have a weather update, and that is that it's going to get really nasty out there. In fact, I looked at the west end of Catalina Island for Thursday afternoon, and it's going to be blowing 20 plus knots there. It is not going to be nice. Be very careful about that. In fact, sport boats will not be able to fish that area on Tanner and Cortez Bank, but it's coming down. It's a quick little blow, and it looks like it's going to get pretty darn nice. It'll be a little breezy on Sunday afternoon again, but not like this. Thursday afternoon is when it's going to blow. So there you have it. That's our local banks, and that bank down there outside of Benitez Island and a little bit below that, where that bluefin and yellowfin continue to provide really great action. By the way, you know what time it is. It's time for, a little late, but better late than never, the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Like that new coffee cup, Chad Christopher Klein. Thank you, my friend. Great Friedman Adventures family member who put on one heck of a barbecue at Tackle Shop Confessions the other night. Island Fishing Tackle in Carson, California. Chad, deeply appreciate this beautiful cup with the United States of America highlighted on there. Really, really appreciate it. Chad, you got yourself in some trouble the other night, by the way. I think people are going to want you to come back and do the barbecue every single Monday, man. I'm telling you, you shouldn't have done that. Really appreciate it. So there you have it. Those are the banks. Hey, tax problems? Tim Marquez, the tax man. He'll solve all those problems for you and more. And heating and or air conditioning needs, it's John Lopez from Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning. And if that garage door is a royal pain in there, you know what? Joe Welker. Joe will take care of it. He is your garage door man. Let's talk islands down there around the Coronado Islands, which is a stone's throw from Point Loma in San Diego. It is in Mexican waters, so you do need a passport if you're fishing the islands. Just check with the landing and or boat that you're going to be on, and they'll advise you with regard to that. A little bit of yellowtail there, mostly rockfish. San Clemente Island, rockfish pretty much. Catalina Island, there's been pretty good whitefish and sheephead fishing. lots of blue perch. I know that the El Patron out of Long Beach Sport Fishing's been over there and having a lot of fun. Gorgeous weather. It's going to get a little windy tomorrow, but then it comes right back down again. It looks like it's going to be a really nice weekend at Catalina Island. A good time for you to jump on board the El Patron. You can get out in the deeper water also and fish with 16 to 24 ounce torpedo sinkers. Gotta have heavy because you're fishing like 500, 600 feet of water sometimes. But that's where those big old cod come up from the depths, and man, a couple of drops and you're all set for a holiday feast with that delicious eating rockfish. So that definitely is on tap for you. And the El Patron, she's speedy, she's gorgeous, she's fun, she's got a great crew, and they're waiting to take you fishing this weekend. www.longbeachsportfishing.org. All right, up there in the Channel Islands, you know, we've seen a little bit of white sea bass, and we've seen the occasional good bite on the halibut, a few yellowtail. There's a lot of squid everywhere, and that squid is the magnet that attracts the predators into our areas, whether it's the islands or the coastal areas up there off Malibu. There's a ton of squid boats on the beach because there's a ton of squid. And once again, that's when you'll see some of that sea bass and halibut, yellowtail move into a variety of different areas. We even had a few white sea bass, mostly shorts, taken at Catalina Island by some private boaters the other day. Nick and Alex, a couple of great kids from the Palos Verdes High School Fishing Club were over there. So there is the possibility of that, but it's mostly rockfish and lots of them. As long as you get good weather, you're going to hammer away at those beautiful, great eating rockfish. For sure, the Island Spirit will be taking you fishing this weekend. And as I previously mentioned, we've got 2 trips coming up with them on December 20th and 27th. Just call the landing or go to their website, venturasportfishing.com, to get on any one of those 2 trips. But if you'd like to go this weekend, and don't forget, Kids Fish Free on Sundays up there, it's the perfect time to go and load up for the holidays, because there's nothing like putting on a fish taco feast during the Christmas season. Man, your friends and loved ones are going to worship at your feet after you provide them with some of the best eating fish in the sea. Island Spirit this weekend, don't miss it. You can jump on board with my dear friend Captain Daniel Hottaway and his great crew. www.venturasportfishing.com or 805-676-3474. Up there, Verges and Morro Bay, Avila Beach. We take you up to San Francisco, Monterey, Bodega Bay. I know I'm jumping all around here. Still a little bit of albacore outside of Bodega Bay when the weather permits you getting out there. But great rock fishing all the way up there into that neck of the woods also. So I don't know how you can beat it. Really, really great stuff on a summer-like day in Southern California. Really gorgeous here. I hope you get a chance. If you can't get out on the water, you can certainly go for a walk. 1/2 and 3/4 day boats from San Diego. Actually from Ensenada, where rock fishing skipped over Ensenada today too. Down there in Ensenada, 70 miles below the border, that beautiful Mexican coastal town. Great rock fishing, occasional yellowtail up under the birds there. So once in a while that will pop up, and just beautiful weather with this Santa Ana. In fact, our dear friend Louis Prieto from It's For Reals Sport Fishing in Ensenada. I fish with Louis all the time. He's fantastic. He sent me some photos, and man, it's totally looked like summertime down there the last couple of days. So thanks for sharing that with us all. 1/2 and 3/4 day boats up and down the coast, mostly rockfish, sheephead, whitefish. Don't see much surface action at all. Again, we harken back to that big yellowtail that gentleman caught on the New Del Mar on a little piece of squid about 48 hours ago. That was a spectacular catch, but definitely not the norm right now. A little bit of bass here and there, mostly rockfish, whitefish, sheephead, that kind of a thing. Boats like the Native Sun have been doing really good on a variety of different fish. 3/4 day boat out of 22nd Street Landing. The Monte Carlo, speaking of Kids Fishing Free, on the weekdays, Kids Fish Free, Monday through Friday with a paid adult. On the weekends, they only pay $25. They're out of San Pedro, California. I always want to say San Pedro, California, just because, I don't know, I look at a Spanish word like that and my brain just clicks over into the Spanish pronunciation. But inevitably, I will get a lot of people on here saying, it's San Pedro. Get that through your thick skull, they tell me. So in San Pedro, California, they've been doing pretty good up there as we look into the Santa Monica Bay, Redondo, Marina del Rey, and up into the Channel Islands. Continued pretty good shallow water, rockfish. I should say that. Deep water, you got to fish right now, 300 feet or deeper. But in the shallows, you can catch whitefish and sheephead. Do pretty well on that. All right, let's talk to Southern California Surf. Your Southern California surf fishing headquarters is located a stone's throw from where I'm standing on the corner of Pacific Coast Highway and Seal Beach Boulevard. Great bait selection, tackle on everything you'll need to be successful, from trout right on up to bluefin, tuna, marlin, and more. On the beaches, we're seeing quite a bit of barb perch in a variety of different locations. As we get deeper into winter, bait becomes more important in the surf, but you can still pick off some fish on the chrome little Castmasters. Those little grubs work well on the barb perch. And if you ever get into the really big barb perch, or you just want to focus on that, throwing that Lucky Crab lure is not a mistake. They'll bite that, and the big ones seem to bite that. So, you come down here, you throw that, you might catch a halibut, you might come up with some really excellent fishing. On the barb perch up there in Long Beach, we see some pretty good fishing going on halibut, mostly shorts. And in the Santa Monica Bay, a lot of barb perch. Few corbina still around. We saw that in San Diego. Down here in Huntington Beach, pretty good barb perch fishing around the pier itself, where there's still an occasional sand crab you can dig up there. So once again, pretty good surf fishing here in Southern California. All right, my friends, have a great and beautiful Wednesday. We'll be releasing more updates as we go along. I'm following the Royal Star. If you have a toy, a brand new toy, you want to go out and buy a toy, we will get it into the hands of a child in Mexico who would be so grateful to you. If you can do that, let me know. If you can't, I totally understand. Things are tight here in the United States. But if you could go buy a toy at Walmart, it doesn't have to be anything too extraordinary. Doug Tilk, who's a great Friedman Adventures family member, he's an exception, because I put that call out the other day, and Doug shows up to Tackle Shop Confessions with a dozen brand new gifts going to Mexico. And once again, I don't know how you feel, Doug, but you can put your head down on your pillow at night and know that you're making the world a much better place. Really appreciate it. And if you want to do that, just send me a text and we'll find some way to get together. I'll pick up the toy, or you can bring it to the landing at 22nd Street. We'll figure that out. 657-227-6459. Praying that all our first responders stay safe. Praying that you are having a great holiday season. And as always, I hope to see you really, really soon.